Thank you once again, Vinny, and welcome everyone once again to this very special FedEx Express Junior Achievement International Trade Challenge for 2020-2021. We started sponsoring the JA Asia Pacific Challenge in 2007, and since then, more than 25,000 young entrepreneurs have participated throughout the region. That's an impressive achievement. So you are the next stars of a large and diverse group, a group competing virtually for the first time, a group where quite literally you are part of a changing entrepreneurial generation, where you can all make a big impact and break new ground in the years ahead. I started out as an engineer in India, so I have had my own journey of breaking the mold. First, as one of the few female STEM graduates at my college in India, and then moving up through the ranks at FedEx in Asia Pacific, and now supporting tens of thousands of innovative entrepreneurs through the work we do every day. In that time, the world has continued to change around us. Even more so with COVID-19. We have seen loss of jobs and rising unemployment in many countries, a much less certain economic environment for postgraduates, and more insecurity and inequality for many in the workforce. But it's not all negative news. We have seen many positives through this crisis of small and medium enterprises, or SMEs, doing well as they pivoted into e-commerce and untapped areas of business. All of that change means that becoming an entrepreneur is fast becoming the number one option for young innovators like you. You are Generation Next. We know it's not just businesses that play a key role in helping society get through a crisis. It's your generation of up-and-coming business people and consumers. You will play a key role in creating innovation, in ensuring future sustainability, and in building safe, equitable, strong economies which benefit everyone in our communities. The $90 trillion global economy has been hard hit by COVID-19. And while that has its own challenges and opportunities for startups, one pressing question overshadows all others. What exactly will the future look like for entrepreneurs across Asia Pacific? Much has been written and said about the future of work. But what about the future of entrepreneurship? How will COVID-19 impact and change your generation and the next generation of entrepreneurs? Now that's a question we think about all the time at FedEx, because a big part of our job is to make commerce easier for entrepreneurs so their businesses can thrive. And the short answer is, entrepreneurship is transforming. So today, I want to look at 3 key trends we see for the near future of entrepreneurship. Trends that you will drive or at least be a key part of in your future working life. First, the entire model of global entrepreneurship is evolving rapidly. The future will be defined by digital and built on agility and resilience. In the past few decades, a series of quiet revolutions have been changing how we work and the way businesses are built. Digital tools such as Zoom, Slack, or Teams are bringing the physical and virtual workplace together. So too is the science of artificial intelligence and machine learning, which has made so much more possible for small businesses. So in this world where physical and digital lines are increasingly blurred, we see entrepreneurship as always in motion. Commerce is constantly changing, just as FedEx itself is always in motion, moving towards a future where now meets next, a future that's increasingly digital. During COVID-19 lockdowns, our teams worked tirelessly to assist SMEs throughout the Asia-Pacific region to increase their online presence and get access to e-commerce shipping tools. And we keep adapting to help the world move forward. Yet within this modern framework, we have now reached another turning point. COVID-19 has clearly been a catalyst for digital entrepreneurship. Throughout history, crises have sparked change for the better in our societies. Pandemics have led to improved healthcare systems. For instance, technological innovation continued at full speed even during the global financial crisis of 2008, when you were very young. Innovative companies that emerged from this time include WhatsApp, Airbnb, Uber, Dropbox, and more. Likewise, the SARS pandemic of 2002 to 2004 proved to be the making of what was then just a small B2B e-commerce company called Alibaba. It was at a critical point in developing its new Taobao consumer platform. Today, it's not just that people can work from anywhere, people want to buy from anywhere. We have seen huge disruptions of networks, reshaping of global supply chain, and age-long established work habits have been disrupted. Consumer expectations have changed. People don't just expect the complete integration of online and offline. They are also much more at ease with using new technology. One positive aspect to emerge from the disruption of COVID is that it has helped lower barriers to entrepreneurship, particularly through digital. We know it is becoming easier to be a global entrepreneur. That is the great news. For example, the cost of starting a business has fallen 65% globally in the last decade, spurred by innovation such as cloud-based tech, which is more than halving the costs of starting up and running a business. We are seeing digital services and products become so ubiquitous and so evolved that it's much easier for startups to access new technology. Websites and platforms that integrate a tech stack make it so much more viable for market products to go to a wider audience and better connect buyers, sellers, and partners. While all these shifts aren't new, the acceleration we've seen through COVID is. For instance, we are seeing businesses that once mapped digital strategy years ahead now scale those same initiatives in a matter of days and weeks. The speed of change has been phenomenal. The pandemic has given us an unprecedented opportunity to rethink and reconsider global entrepreneurship on its own. At FedEx, we have a fairly unique insight into how entrepreneurs are spurring growth, how they are scaling their businesses the world over. We are fortunate to work with some of the most ambitious and interesting entrepreneurs, including those right here in Asia Pacific and potentially many of you in future. Small businesses may have been hurt by lockdowns, but we are also seeing organizations and individuals move up the digital adoption curve overnight. Whether it's digital versions of old analog products and services, existing products enhanced with better digital features, or entirely new offerings. The vast array of technology available to even the smallest startup has been game-changing. So at its heart, we see future entrepreneurship will increasingly be built on agility, resilience, and speed. Now, all of you have already had to learn resilience, agility, and speed just to reach these finals here today. You've all been challenged by the shifts that COVID has brought. It's these same skills we will increasingly need in entrepreneurs. Not just critical thinking or problem solving, but active learning, stress tolerance, and flexibility. We've already seen how companies that moved quickly during the crisis have a strategic advantage over competitors. With millions working from home, firms that delivered fast yet continued to provide exceptional service gained many loyal customers. Those that pivoted to online and sped up the buying process did well. Such resilience is not new. But what is new today is that we need more support and more understanding of how agility and resilience is key to competitiveness. These skills aren't industry or sector dependent. They are skills we need to model over the life cycle of entrepreneurship itself. And you know what? This international trade challenge is in many ways a reflection of these trends. At FedEx, we always look at any issue from the point of view of what's the problem we are trying to solve? Just like you are learning right here. And when we started working with JA 14 years ago, here in Asia, we were essentially looking to help solve and support a critical problem that we knew existed. Back then, education focused much more on heading to a university and then finding a full-time job with an employer. So from an industry perspective, and in partnership with JA, we saw a real need to help nurture critical skills to start, manage, and grow a business. Long before entrepreneurial education became commonplace. Now the world has moved on, and us with it. It's not just these skills we need, it's digital know-how, resilience, and agility that are necessary to thrive in the new economy. But it all starts with the lighting of a fire. Let me just say, we've been so impressed by all of the student entrepreneurs here. You are demonstrating just the kind of resilience, drive, urgency, and agility needed to find solutions to big problems. And I'm excited by the diversity of teams and the ideas that are competing this week. Which leads me to my second theme here today. We are entering an exciting new age of diverse entrepreneurship. That means not just more women and more young people, but more diverse ideas and entrepreneurs from different backgrounds. In our increasingly connected world, technology and online access enable startups from Ghana to Bangladesh to participate on the same global stage as those in more developed countries. And the reality is that we need true diversity in thinking, in backgrounds, in cultures, perspectives, and experiences that make us, our economies, and entrepreneurship itself stronger. The good news? Diverse entrepreneurship is fed by an enormous talent pool, and our region stands out. The Asia Pacific has almost 60% of the world's youth population, with 700 million youth aged 15 to 24 years. This is a huge resource right there. As we see more barriers to entrepreneurship falling, we will see much bigger opportunities for young people like you all everywhere. From every country, from every culture, from every sector and society, all contributing rich perspectives and talent that at its core comprises true diversity. For it's not just how we teach entrepreneurship that's important, it's how we embed it in post-COVID recovery and reset what has gone before. It's all about how we work to find, fund, and support the next generation of diverse startups and entrepreneurs to drive long-term sustainable recovery. This is why we have to think true diversity when it comes to entrepreneurship and keep shaking up our thinking when it comes to barriers, even geographic ones. For instance, as president of the AMEA region, the Asia Pacific, Middle East and Africa, my role covers some of the biggest economies in the world, China, Japan, and India, as well as diverse emerging markets ranging from Indonesia to Oman. The FedEx approach to this mega marketplace is one in which many vastly different cultures and teams work more closely together on strategy and outcomes to serve customers around the world. So we can more easily connect entrepreneurs and possibility across more markets. That's the kind of diverse thinking I'm talking about. And it's what will define diverse entrepreneurship into the future. Being prepared to look outside your comfort zone for new markets and new ways of operating. Interestingly, it's not just SMEs or startups that scale up into the next billion-dollar business. We are seeing strong growth in one-person companies, sole traders, thanks to digital connections and a much broader creative economy. There is also an increasing trend for people looking to earn income as a service provider on digital platforms such as Grab and Airtasker. So it's also how we leverage digital to create economies that exploit tech trends which address the changing market needs. We are fortunate in Asia to have some of the most thriving startup ecosystems in the world. There is a lot of support for entrepreneurs, startups, and even venture capital models. But there's still not enough focus on the practical elements of growing a global business. How exactly can you seize the digital advantage and innovate on a global scale? Much of this isn't the glamour world of startups. It's about the nitty-gritty of supply chains, trading across borders, and government regulations. And these are the types of issues that will become increasingly important as e-commerce and cross-border trade continues to boom. Actual barriers to scale remain, particularly in distribution, and can often be hard to overcome. That's why the priority must be on helping more entrepreneurs and more diverse entrepreneurs build their own track record without necessarily needing piles of cash. You'll be interested to hear that one global survey of 12,000 millennials found that 69% of respondents believe they have the opportunity to be an entrepreneur. Now it's your turn as Generation Z to step up and grab the baton. Our focus at FedEx remains to help all age groups of entrepreneurs build a track record via digital tools, technology, trade tools, and many other capabilities. So my message to you is, whatever your passion, own it. Perhaps start your own venture and follow the thousands of FedEx JA ITC alumni who have gone out and done just that. Let me tell you briefly about just two of those former students, Dickie Tang and June Ko. 2008 ITC alumni Dickie Tang graduated from Melbourne's Monash University and worked in PR for many years. He founded Again Communications in Hong Kong back in 2019. A rare agency combining PR services and digital marketing, targeting SMEs and NGOs. Dickie says his ITC experience a decade earlier provided good skills in business planning and thinking international. His advice to entrepreneurs starting out today: make good use of all the free data and trend analysis available online, but bring your critical thinking to it. Think details, act fast, and adjust when needed. Also be open to partnerships and cooperation with other companies to share skill sets and market data by leveraging the strength of each other. It saves a lot of time and investment on technology, training, and promotion. Some real words of wisdom there from Dickie. I also have more good advice for you from 2012 ITC alumni June Ko. He has been working in finance in Hong Kong and co-founded a creative learning platform called Friday last year. Friday helps local artists host creative classes either online or in person at private and public venues. June says ITC experience really helped in terms of interacting with future leaders in business. He cites one of the biggest challenges for a small business is hiring competitive individuals who want to join a new venture. As for business post-COVID, June says understanding just where people are spending time, either at home or somewhere they feel at home, and how long they are online or offline will be key to future marketing. This leads me to my final theme here today. The third trend is that future entrepreneurship will be defined by new solutions that work anywhere. They are independent of location. What we are seeing is that COVID is creating and accelerating opportunities for all kinds of entrepreneurs. And it's changed how entrepreneurs work, possibly permanently. As students, you know more than anyone about leaving the classroom behind for remote learning, remote teaching, and remote tools. And that's happening not just in education. It's almost any sector you can name. For instance, COVID-19 has transformed healthcare in a short period of time. Instead of waiting at a medical center to see a doctor, we are now using much wider variety of telehealth, remote diagnostics, and medical devices. For FedEx, we are on the front lines of healthcare. We have been transporting medical technology, new pharma, and material for clinical trials for many years. Now we are doing some of the most important work that we've ever done. We are extremely proud of the tremendous efforts of FedEx teams worldwide in COVID-19 vaccine delivery. This is a highly complex global operation, and as always, we have to expect the unexpected. Recently, when the US was hit by the winter snowstorms, we had to quickly adapt and reroute sensitive COVID vaccine shipments to make sure they get delivered on time every time. But that's who we are and what we do every day. It's our purpose. The COVID-19 disruption is proving that entrepreneurship, like business itself, will increasingly be linked to purpose, not just profit, leading to much greater social entrepreneurship in years to come. Similarly, sustainability is also a crucial part of the future of entrepreneurship. As a leader in using green technology, such as electric vehicles, robotic automation, and several delivery options at FedEx, we know that green technology will drive the next wave of innovation, not just in APAC, but globally. And it won't just be electric cars and batteries. There will be strong growth in climate-focused startups. These examples are all very different, but they are universally location independent, often entirely mobile, social commerce centric, and cater to a new generation of entrepreneurs who are digital nomads and might even set up their businesses in the cloud. Such a scenario would have been impossible to imagine when the term entrepreneur was first used centuries ago, believe it or not, in 1723, to describe someone who increased profits while pushing down costs. And now it's defined as someone who walks the unwalked path, who does things that haven't been done before. It's all about possibilities for things we didn't even know we needed. Successful entrepreneurs today are those who can find just what the next wave will be. Whatever the future, the reality is that entrepreneurship happens in and outside companies. At FedEx, we are in the entrepreneur growing business, always searching for the next wave of innovation in Asia Pacific and across the mega marketplace of AMEA. Not just because it will help grow our business, but because entrepreneurship is the key to global recovery. That's why this program is so close to our heart at FedEx. To empower future generations of global entrepreneurs such as yourselves. FedEx has always been about revolutionizing the global market. We facilitate and expand global trade by building supply chains and delivering local products and services to global customers around the world. Trade is the lifeblood of the global economy, and entrepreneurs are an integral part of it. Everyone benefits when it's easier to bring new products and ideas to the global market. It's critical to economies across Asia, to growth, and to jobs. We take great pride in supporting the global system of international trade that's good for the world. Finally, let me leave you with one thing that has not changed about entrepreneurship: the need to take risks. In the words of one very successful entrepreneur, Fred Smith, who founded FedEx some 50 years ago. And Fred says, fear of failure must never be a reason not to try something. So team, all the best to you for the finals. Be bold and don't forget to have fun. Thank you.